I'm glad so many of y'all are familiar with inner quest and with metaphysics because I'm getting out there today. Say yay, God. All right. We're working on a series about expanding consciousness. So, the very first week, we said yes to the silence, which was really about I see God. I'm saying yes to the going into the space where I can open my heart to see God. And this is where we surrender the parameters of our dreams. We are going to bloom in God's way, God's method. It doesn't mean we don't have dreams. It means that we will bloom in that way. The second Sunday was I See Me. This is when we open to our potential, to prepare to realize the potential that we say yes to is anything within us. A desire is an indicator of a potential that's already been prepared for us. So we have to say yes to it. And we learned how to do that last week. Has anybody been working with that this week? Okay. And today, we're going to say yes to the greater. So here's going to be my intention for you. Here's what I want your takeaway to be. Ready? I want your takeaway to be, how awesome are we? It is inconceivable how amazing we are. Okay, so that's the end result that we're going for. Got it? Okay. I know some of you can already get there, right? How awesome are we? All right, we're going to talk about life. I want to follow this the way Spirit gave it to me. Life. We perceive, we have a need, we seek to fulfill it. We perceive, we have a need, we seek to fulfill it. Every day, every day, every day, every day. It's a loop. I know that time is passing because I do laundry. If I did not do my own laundry with my clothes, I would not know that I had been through so many days. Because there is such a repetition of fulfilling those needs we perceive, we need, we fulfill. Got the circle? All right. This is the cycle that's based on our perception of our desires and our reality that we live in. Our desires are really thoughts that we have an emotional attachment to. That becomes a desire, right? And then if it's not fulfilled, it becomes a need. All right. How do we expand our perception? To perceive is to understand what we are seeing, feeling, and experiencing. To perceive is a foundational understanding that is referenced from the past. If I'm perceiving something, I'm understanding it in relationship to prior experiences. With me? So I'm perceiving something, all right? To conceive is about seeing something that can be born into form within you. Conception. We conceive, we create something that can be born within us. To conceive is understanding with the ability to create form. I perceive something. Now I can conceive an idea about it. And in the conception, I can begin to create a form with it. Do you see the difference? So first we change our perception, and then we can conceive greater. But if we're not changing our perception, we're just going need, fulfill, desire, need, fulfill. We're in that circle. So we have to change perception first, see something different, and then we can conceive something higher. It's very simple, isn't it? But it's something that we get kind of sidetracked with. So I say yes to more than I can conceive. So I'm going to just talk about the world for a second. In our reality, in metaphysical Christianity, and in our reality of Christendom, some Christendom, there's a lot of talk about the nature of our being. You are a multidimensional being. Absolutely true. But what does that mean to you? You are existing on multi-levels simultaneously. Yes, it's true. Time is an illusion. Yes, it's true. Time is an agreed-upon precept. Time is not linear. True. Is it possible that all the many lifetimes that you have are all happening at the same time? We don't know. Possible. You following me? This is a dimension of manifesting. No matter where you are, no matter what dimension we talk about, no matter what multidimensional being you are, you're here. You're here. This is the dimension of manifesting. Can any of you live without eating? Not yet. So you're here. Yay, you're with us. We are living in this space for a reason. And I think it's time that we start grasping that to change our perception of this reality. So, this is a manifest dimension, and your free will is not hindered. Do you realize that? Your free will is not hindered. You may think it is, but it's not. You have been given a space where your desires can become a reality for you. You create your experiences. Now, are there people seeking to control your choices? Yes. Are you influenced to maintain the cultural awareness, beliefs, and behavior? Yes, of course you are. But have you agreed to let all have free will in this dimension? Yes. Yes. Which means we're all doing something different. We can create the world that will sustain and help us grow. We have to allow, and we don't have to invite anyone over for tea, but we have to allow everyone to grow in their awareness of God in their own path. Okay? Multidimensional beings taking this moment in time to focus in this reality, which is a dimension where we can create. One of the greatest, we know God is love, right? Everybody understands that. One of the greatest tools of expressing love is power. As power. One of the greatest tools of expressing love as power, because love is power, is through your will. Free will through your will. Your free will directs your creative energies to support your desires. And your free will, again, is your thoughts and emotions focused. I wanted to share this with you out of the Aquarian. This is 109. In the judgment day, when all the books are opened up, these men and every other man, Jesus is talking, shall be judged not by what they've said or done, but by the ways in which they used the thoughts of God and made the ethers of eternal love to serve. How did they mold the energy of this earth plane to serve? For men may make these ethers serve the carnal self or the holy self within. We have free will. Jesus is saying, you are masters, this is a place of manifest. Are you molding with your thoughts and emotions energy to serve yourself that need fulfill? Or are you looking at your inner self that is the divine self? Are you using energy to serve that part of you? How simple is that deviation? It's not by what you say or do. It's by how you mold the ethers of God. God gave you this place, gave you free will, said, create, my child. Enjoy. Create. Okay? When you realize we are all connected God beings, your first level of desire will be for harmony for the whole. If we're all connected, didn't David mention that just out the gate this day when we were in traffic? We're all connected. I had to learn, not 5-6 years ago, these are all children of God. These are all children of God. As I'm driving through 285. You know, they're children of God. Their mama loves them. Their mama loves them, you know. And just keep saying that as I'm going, okay? And so it's practice, right? When we can really realize that we are children of God, we came here to do something, to learn something, to experience something, and we want to move into using the ethers to mold for our highest, for our inner God self, for love, we can begin to desire harmony and love for our fellow man. The second level is when we begin to desire harmony, love, and creation for us. Now, so far we're good, right? Everybody goes, I know that, Cindy. Good, I know that. Okay. So let's get back to will. My will are the thoughts mixed with emotions, and the energy is directed. Now, your thoughts and emotions can be directed into action in the inner or the outer. If in your mind, that beautiful theater that you have, if in your mind you're creating stories and movies and you're investing your will and you're charging it with, your thoughts are charged with energy and you're playing in that movie and you've cast yourself as the star and you're having dramatic moments, What do you think you're creating? Dramatic moments. You are actually willing this because there's an action going on internally. Plus, we do it externally, and we know when we're doing it externally. I'm not going to put up with that anymore. I'm going to take a stand here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, That's when our will becomes strong in the outer. How are we molding the ethers? Our will also can be activated through repetition. If my thoughts and emotions are continually downing me, downing you, downing anything, and it's just rote over and over, like the need fulfilled, we also are creating action. So you can say, well, I'm not acting on my will. Yeah, you are. We act on it through the repetition, we act on it through the inner drama, we act on it through the outer expression. Our will, our thoughts charged by emotions do create a force, and they start creating. Okay. Oh, easy now, right? Okay. I know you all have heard me talk about this a lot, but I love it, so I'm probably going to continue. This is a tape series on epigenetics. The lady's name is Charlotte Marcura, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. This program is based on protein complexities that fold, organize, and repair DNA. And it's 12 different little lessons on it. She's fascinating, just fascinating. I loved it dearly, didn't understand but a little bit of it, but I loved it. So this is what they know. DNA can be tied up and wrapped by proteins that will inhibit its ability to express or create certain conditions that are not healthy or blah, 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 blah. In the studies in here, that DNA protein can be altered and is altered by your activity, by your thoughts, and by your emotions. Do you know that? She said they've even been able to isolate that when someone with intention steps out in the morning air, stands on the ground, and breathes in, the DNA actually responds then. They've also checked people, this is a massive study that was done, that they're watching the DNA construct and certain components of whatever, and they went and ate a fast food hamburger, which I won't name, fries, and Coke, and the DNA responded negatively, inhibiting, the proteins responded negatively around the DNA, inhibiting it. So the DNA responds instantly to the stimulation of the outer, to your exercise, if you're feeling good about it. If you hate your exercise, guess what's happening? Yeah, no, it doesn't work. So we can, through our thoughts, if our thoughts and emotions of good, whole, and happiness can unravel DNA that has been trapped into a negative posturing, how powerful are we? They've also done many studies on heritage, people and generations of people who were in the war, World War II, and countries which starved. Virtually 90% of those who survived, their offspring had weight problems. Because the DNA, the proteins wrapped around the DNA around body function, and they gained weight. They could not let weight go because their ancestors starved. Do you understand? So the DNA went into protective mode in the ancestor, and it was passed on through the children to the grandchildren. How powerful are our thoughts and our emotions when our trauma can be passed on generations? Okay? Now, once you're aware of that, you can say, oh, no, I eat freely, I'm happy, and we can actually change the inherited trauma with our thoughts and our emotions. We can shift it. There's another thing that they found about weight. There is a situation of DNA and the proteins, and there's a bunch of other terms, where the DNA is trapped in a pattern, and they know it makes people not be able to lose weight. It makes you hold weight. And this is not trauma-based. This is in a different area. They know it's there. They cannot unhook it. They cannot medically unhook it yet. They'll experiment with it. One day they'll be able to. But what can unhook it? The thoughts. And they've done research on even talk therapy. When you have therapy and you're talking and you get a new idea, Oh my God, I have a new idea. I perceive something new. I can conceive something different. The DNA the proteins unwind and relax the DNA. Are we not fabulous? I mean, awesome. Are we not fabulous? We have the capacity to create a vehicle that will respond and take us into the experience we want to have. This vehicle will respond to our will and take us into an experience we want to have. How amazing are we? Our Creator God, Father, Mother God, I don't care what you call God, our Creator, our parent, put us here and said, enjoy your free will. And your body's going to reflect it. Your brain will reflect it, and then the world will reflect whatever you choose around you. How awesome are we? Okay. When we talk about restoring health, now she did mention Reiki and meditation. Meditation, Reiki, prayer, all shifts those patterns inside. They can literally watch the proteins shift. I would love to have an opportunity to see eyes on during an active healing session when Reiki is being given, or during a moment when that God light is coming into someone's body. It probably is systemic, moving through the vehicle to heal, to unwrap, and it will unwrap and heal that which the client will allow because of their thoughts and their will. If they got on a healing table and said, God, I am yours, heal everything about me, I am so ready, that would get, how much extra power would be there? Because the thoughts and the will of the person are aligned with accepting a new beginning in the physical body. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Easy peasy, huh? All right, so restoring health. This body responds in so many ways. New perception, I understand. New conception, I can. I understand and I can. I understand and I can. All right. The thoughts, the emotions, the beliefs created a reality of limitation that can be unhooked. Thoughts, emotions, beliefs. Your will redirects the DNA. All right. God is in everything. God power is in everything. God is in ourselves, it's in our world, it's in the breath, it's in our reality. Do we really have to consider that we have to carry the world? Or could we look at, my job is to love the world? I know we go out compassion. I know when the North Carolina, we were all giving. I mean, everybody's giving. That's our brothers and sisters. They need help. Everybody's giving. We're giving. For them to get back on their feet. For them to feel God's love. For them to know somebody loves them out here. We're hoping for you. We're helping you the best we can. We're giving all we can to help. Do you see? We're seeing them as thriving and surviving. We're praying for those who did not make it. But we're not saying to ourselves, now therefore I cannot have. You all with me? Yet how often do we do that? How often do we look at someone else's situation and when then, because we get so compassionate or so whatever, we start to deny our own prosperity, our own ability, our own consciousness. The more we own the tremendous faculties that we have to be greater, the more we will empower our brothers and sisters to do the same and hope for them and send them love and light. Okay. All right. Everybody wants the magic wand. The magic wand is your will. It's your emotions and your thoughts together because they are actually creating your reality. That's your magic wand. Now, do we want to be those that use the ethers of God to promote and support the divinity within, or do we want to be someone that uses the ethers of God to stay in the need-fulfill cycle. Everything I do, you can do, and greater. You know, even in metaphysical reality, and I've been around for a while, people don't like owning that. You know, they don't like owning that because then the ego is involved. And like, okay, y'all come to terms with your ego. Because your ego will tell you that if you say you can, you're pumping up over somebody else. You're not. You're just owning your truth. We need to own our spiritual truth about our potential and where we can rise to. My goal used to be ascension when I was very young and started in metaphysics. It's like, yeah, he said everything I do, you can do and greater. I want to put that on my list of things to do. Now, the closer I get to my exit point, the more I realize that may not be happening. Not in this life. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. When I was 30, I wasn't okay with it. No, by golly, I have a goal. So, but I got caught in some traffic jams and had a few moments. But the idea of wanting that, and I was Cindy. I would tell anybody when I was in my 30s, that's where I'm headed, that's what I want to do. And they'd go, good Lord, child. But why not? Why not have the goal of doing the things Jesus did, of knowing we're spiritual beings, of not carrying the pain of my parents, not carrying the pain of my brothers and sisters, helping, yes, but don't carry it. Don't let it limit the who am I, DNA-wise. I wanted to read you something. This is Love Without End by Glenda Green. She's talking with Jesus, and this is what Jesus says. The first thing is self-awareness, and you derive the capacity for imagination and thought. And contained within it is your right to be an additional source for infinity and creation. Now you are a channel of God's love right here, right now. When you are self-aware and you know the potential, you know the spirit of your heart within you, you are a channel of God's love right here, right now. The universe is a partnership where the creator may enjoy rest and the created may pursue freedom. You are indispensable to the continuing expansion of infinity. You are the extra dimension. The heart is your gateway to performing in this extra dimension. It's the beginning of your higher intelligence. So moving from analyzing and thinking into the heart brain, which allows you to conceive. The heart that allows you to touch the infinite and bring in greater possibilities. Did you like that? Yes. All right. I want to give you a quick exercise to do. But before I do, I want to tell you a little story. A very dear person in my life. I'm so glad I know her. I love her dearly. She is a leader in the program. She has been for many, many, many years helping women in their recovery process. And she was chatting with me about step number 2. You know, step number 2 in the 12-step program is you have to find a higher power. And she said a lot of the young ladies will come to her, girls will come to her and say, it ain't working. I'm praying, I'm meditating, I'm not getting anything, it's just not working. And she says to them, well, don't you worry. You just keep doing what you're doing, and you will be contacted. And I thought, that's beautiful. You do what you do. You dissolve the distance between you and Creator. You're dissolving the distance between you and what you believed. You're dissolving it every time you sit down and say, I'm going to try one more time, God. And then the connection will be made. But I love that. You will be contacted. The consciousness of our Creator will reach us wherever we are. God is everywhere present. But the consciousness of Creator, where that personal human father, mother energy will reach us wherever we are in our world. So I want to offer this to you quickly as an exercise, and if you do it, you will be contacted. You may not feel it immediately. Okay, this is something that Patrick. This is a compilation of something that Patrick read somewhere, and wasn't a fan of one of the words command. I don't command anything. I asked to create in harmony, and I don't command. But I'm talking about my own body, so I can command. So it goes like this. These are the words. By the authority of the Christ, the living Christ within me, and the love of my Father, Mother God, I command that the particles of my consciousness, the cells of my body, are filled with God love and restored to total health now. How's that feel? Did your brain go, eh? Eh? Okay. Perception. You have nothing to base that on, likely. You hear the words in your brain, eh. Actually, the particles is adamantium particles. Your brain would go, what? What are adamantium particles? We have nothing in our perception to base that on, most of us. So let's try just to do it. I'll say it and you repeat it after me, okay? By the authority of the Christ, the living Christ within me, I command that the particles of my consciousness and the cells of my body are filled with God love and restored to total health now. Now, I know you did that on command, but can you feel energy in you? Imagine by words and intention, by thought, emotion, and intention, if I can, in fact, shift the DNA by breathing air and feeling love, I can, in fact, command the particles of who I am to be filled with God love. How simple is this? But it's perceive the possibility, conceive what can be done with it. When we move into this space, we are tapping the divinity within each heart, within ourselves, our soul. We are connecting with Jesus Christ. We're connecting with the divine. All barriers will melt that are not there by divine design for our journey. All of them will melt. And then we can do our journey in health and love rather than in limitation. You can accomplish your journey joyfully in health and joy, or you can accomplish it through trial. It doesn't matter because God gave you free will. God loves you no matter what, so it just doesn't matter. How's it feel? Okay, we have magic wands. We have the beautiful energy of God love moving through us. We are a biochemical event. Dun, da, da. We are a biochemical event, and we have control over that. And here's the thing I want to just leave you with before we go into meditation. We go into meditation, we get high, we feel great, we love God, we get information. It's fabulous. Fabulous. Then you open your eyes. You're back here. This is important. This world is important. This world is important. If just touching God in meditation was all we needed to do, we'd be gone when we did. Gone. This is an important place where we can learn so much. And the bottom line, we're all connected. We're all love. We can learn so much. But let's start. That's the bottom line. That's the first step. How awesome are we? How awesome are we? More than you can conceive. All right, let's just anchor this for a moment. So take a breath, put your feet on the floor. Father, Mother God, I ask that your love, your light, and your peace engulf us. I call forth a beautiful column of light just to engulf everyone and their own unique column of light, God. And I ask that you all just open your hearts and ask that God's love fill you. And as you feel the love of God moving through that column of light, let it go through your body. Feel Jesus by your side. I no longer have to carry the burdens, the wounds of my parents. I accept my freedom to create in this moment the light I am choosing to be. As I love the world. As I am light, I light the world. I want you to imagine that you can sense Jesus Christ standing by your side, and I want you to place your hand in His. And feel that you are ready. I am ready. Father, Mother God, bless everyone who is here, all who hear my voice. Let us truly begin to know the divinity that lies within, and to know that we know we are your children. And we thank you for this. Take a breath. Let your awareness come back to your chair. Feel your heart. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. I hope you realize that there's nothing you have to think about. There are only choices that you need to make. You really don't need to analyze good, bad, right, wrong. Ask the heart will guide, and you will be in your right and perfect place. We are amazing! Say yay, God.